I'm with Paul Tuschy. He's a candidate for the Minnesota House District 52B. Why are you running for office?
Well, it's certainly not because I aspire to become a career politician. I just want to represent the people and to serve the people in this district. And I passionately believe in a citizen legislature where someone like me, who is definitely not a professional politician by any stretch of the imagination, just a guy who runs 2 small businesses in Inver Grove Heights, can run for office, knock on doors and talk to the voters, and then if elected, I can go to St. Paul to serve the people and to be a voice for the people of this district in the legislature. And I believe that the people in this district need a voice who will stand up and speak loudly for their economic freedom, their personal liberty, and their property rights. Because right now, very sadly, the voices of lobbyists and billionaire football team owners and a whole host of other special interests are completely drowning out the voice of the common man. And the people of Inver Grove Heights and Mendota Heights and Sunfish Lake and northern Eagan need someone who will speak loudly for them and will always vote to protect their liberties and protect their property. And I will make that stand.
What are the important issues in your district?
Well, almost every day I'm out there knocking on the doors and talking to the voters. And from the people I am hearing jobs and taxes. And to that I would add government spending. People are unemployed or they're underemployed, and even those that do have a good job, they're facing higher and higher tax burdens, while at the same time their money doesn't go as far, costs are rising, people have lost their equity in their homes. So we need to address those situations. We need to make sure that our businesses, our employers are empowered and freed up to create jobs in Minnesota. And that is, we can do that by streamlining regulation and just cutting through the red tape that keeps them from doing what they do best, creating jobs. So we need to make sure that we look at our licensing and our permitting processes and also address the taxes that businesses are paying, both the corporate tax and the personal income tax, which small businesses often will pay at the personal income tax level. And as far as government spending, we need to be responsible. We need responsible budgeting, and I'll be an advocate for that. We can't keep borrowing, keep bonding. I mean, there is a role for the government, say, to create roads for commerce, but if we're going to bond money for light rails and stadiums and all kinds of things that the next generation will be on the hook for, we need to make sure that we're spending responsibly and not spending money on things that we can't afford.
What would you like the voters to know about you?
Well, I live in Inver Grove Heights with my wife Marie, and we've been married for 10 years. We moved here 7 years ago when we bought our first home here. We attend Grace Church of the Nazarene, and I run 2 small businesses in Inver Grove Heights. I want people to know where I stand on the issues, and if you agree with me and you agree with my positions and the proper role of government as I believe it, then please vote for me. You can visit my website, paultuschy.com, to find out where I stand on the issues. And I would encourage the voters to please know where my opponent stands, where he votes, and where I will stand, and decide then based on issues and legislative issues, because we're electing a legislator, who you want to represent you. I have signed the Taxpayers League pledge, and I pledge not to raise taxes. The last thing that we need in this economy is the government taking more dollars from Minnesota families. Minnesota families have to do more and more with less and less in this economy, and our government needs to do the same. My opponent, Joe Atkins, received a 0% from the Taxpayers League in 2011 and again in 2012. That won't be publicized, but I want you to be aware of that. Also, I am pro-life. I have signed pledges and I'm seeking endorsement of a pro-life group, and also my opponent has received the endorsement of a pro-abortion group and also has received 0% from pro-life groups in the past.
Do you have any closing remarks?
Well, I believe that when we live free, we live better, and that this principle applies to every level of government. And you, the voters, this fall have a choice to make, and that choice is to determine the proper role of state government in Minnesota. Now, if you believe, as I do, that the proper role of government is to protect our personal and our economic liberties, then I am your choice, because I believe that you can spend your own money much more responsibly than the government can spend your money. I believe that we're all adults, and that we can make our own choices and our own decisions, and we certainly don't need the government treating us like children. I believe that there's great power in freedom and that you're responsible enough to handle that. For more information, check out my website, paultuschy.com, and I'd be humbled to receive your support and very honored to receive your vote on November 6th.
Well, thank you very much. I've been speaking with Paul Tuschy. He's a candidate for the Minnesota State House District 52B.